All right, it's time. Uh, it's like the second episode of this, and I'm going to be talking about myself, uh, which is just one way of saying that I'm going to talk about the skateboard company that I've started. And yeah, the reason I'm doing that now is because I have to change this board. I've basically been riding it for the past year and a half. Basically, I've been test riding it because this is essentially the board that I've been designing and developing with my partner who's been hand making boards for a long time. And basically, the whole point is that they're biodegradable, but at the same time, I also wanted to make them eco-conscious, and the way to do that basically, yeah, is just to find someone that can source all the stuff, all the wood and all the materials in order to make it biodegradable. And not only that, but make sure that it's a solid skateboard. Because that's the thing, like, yeah, sure, they're eco-friendly, biodegradable, blah, 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 but how does it ride? Like, if I want to make boards for serious skaters, they have to be good boards, and it can't just be like whatever wood. It has to be Canadian maple. I'm glad of the fact that they're made in America, by hand, by small batch. Like, it's basically, I think, a studio of 2 or 3 people that are working on boards and making these things. And yeah, this is kind of the color scheme of it. It's just going to be the safety orange logo. It's going to be in black and white, or white, and 7-ply. He said it could be stronger. It could be just as strong with 6-ply, but I think 7-ply is standard, so I like to keep it at that. Maybe we can kind of go over the damage control. I've been skating this pretty hard for like a year and a half, and it's flattened out pretty good. It's got a crack here, kind of deep. It's got, your typical like shark bite, wear and tear, razor tail. It's pretty gnar. I've been skating this. I'm really just trying to skate it down to the bone, down to where it's like basically unskateable, and I think it's at that point. And yeah, like, year and a half. This is tough as rocks. This is one of the best and strongest boards that I've ever ridden, and I've been riding for like over 15 years, and I fucking love this board. It's got a cool story behind it too, like not just the board, but like the shape of it and everything. But maybe I'll leave that for another time, or while we're doing this video, anyways. But yeah, so this is basically the damage that it's been through over a year and a half. It's been holding up, and I skate like at least an hour a day. I try to make it like 2 to 3 whenever I can get a good session in. I had my 6-hour sessions and all dayers here and there, but for the most part, that's kind of been like the wear and tear that I put on it. Let's say like an average of 2 hours, like a day, and let's say that I skated 5 days out of the week or something like that. Yeah, so let's get to work taking this apart. I'm gonna put together the other one. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna use this. I'm just gonna use a little drill that I have. Got it from IKEA. It's actually pretty decent. But yeah, so I guess I was gonna start from the beginning, why I started a skate brand, and kind of what I did in the meantime to get it off the ground. Basically, I went on a trip with my girlfriend to a national park, and we went through the Badlands, went to Yellowstone, and I was just kind of just flabbergasted by nature and the beauty of it. I mean, I like nature and all that kind of stuff before. Like I've done my fair share of psychedelics and hallucinogens. I've smoked enough weed to like be cool with the trees, but at the same time, I just had like a very profound way, or change in the way of thought of just like, okay, if I want to do something, I have to do something. And one of the only ways that you can kind of affect change, outside of voting and donating your time and volunteering, is doing something, is creating change within the culture, within the overall system. And one of the ways to do that is to go into business and, start something, start trends or whatever it is. I'm not saying that like I'm going to start a trend, but I'm not saying that I started anything in the first place, but that was just kind of the thought that I had. So then at that point I was like, okay, if that's the case, what do I want to do? And that was also coinciding with the fact that like I was just kind of freaking out about work and jobs and just like the way that everything was, in corporate America, and just kind of the mentality of it all, like in the States especially, where you're working for at will states, at will employment, like you're always just worried about that you're going to lose your job. There's always the fear of layoffs. There's always just crazy amount of toxicity that exists, I feel like, in most corporate structures, where the incentive is to be scared, to always be scared, to always be overworked, to always be underpaid. And, I got into that sort of thing because I went to school, I graduated, I have my student debt, and, it was, I felt like I owed it to myself, or at least to my parents, to like do something with that and not just kind of like let it go by the wayside. Oh shit, this has got stuck in there. That's why. And yeah, and not only that, but like I was going through this whole phase of being a struggling artist and like not having steady work, and I was realizing more and more like how fucked up and hard it was, like not having a steady schedule, not being able to pick my times, like always like not even being able to take like time off. It just felt like this crazy hamster wheel. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll get a 9 to 5. It'll be more stable, like I can stay at a company for a long time and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was a lie. Maybe it worked for our parents' generation, but it sure as hell isn't working for ours. So I was like, fine, if this structure has the same sort of like inherent, whoa, what's going on here? Inherent sort of instability as, running your own business or being an artist, like why the fuck am I not doing something for myself? And, running a brand, a skateboarding brand, it's not only a dream come true, but it's also combining all the things that I love to do. Making content, taking videos, getting clips, skateboarding, designing products, designing shirts, like all these things, branding and the marketing and all this kind of stuff. Like I really enjoy just doing things, and especially like if it has something to do with quote unquote like helping the environment, or just being something that I'm interested in, like skateboarding and running my own skate brand. Why the fuck bleep why don't I do that, and so I was thinking about this stuff while I was just going through these long stretches of driving through the night and stuff, and my girlfriend would be sleeping and I'd just be thinking about this stuff, like I gotta do something. And yeah, I was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna do a skate company, and it's gonna be at the very least helpful, like insofar as the environment and just all these things. By the way, these are slappy trucks. I love these. And actually, talking about slappy trucks, a big influence in me doing this also at the same time was Louie Barletta. I was kind of chatting with him via DMs, and he was leaving Enjoy, and then he just straight up, boom, started his own brand, Jacuzzi Skateboards. And I was like, God damn, like I know that we're not the same. He's been a pro skateboarder. He's been running Enjoy for like so long. Like he definitely knows the ins and outs of the business and the industry. But at the same time, like he just made it look easy. And just like skateboarding, like it kind of looks easy. and then you get down into it, and it might not be as easy as you thought. But at the same time, definitely kind of like helped push me in the right direction. Okay, this is the top truck. So yeah, just, on this trip, having all these thoughts. And yeah, one of the first things that I had to do was figure out exactly how to kind of bring this idea into real life. Thinking about the name, blah, 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 this and that. But also, I was kind of like scrolling through Instagram and just kind of seeing all these brands starting to pop up. And whether it was the algorithm or whether it was whatever, the universe working its magic, what have you, I was noticing that there's like a lot of brands. Oh, don't tell me that this just died. It's just not going to be strong enough, huh? Oh, you son of a bitch. Well, I'm just going to have to use this. Do it by hand. Where'd it go? Maybe I should have charged it before the video. Anyways, this will give me a good time. Yeah, so I was seeing these clothing brands that were just doing these new and interesting things with biodegradable shirts and clothing and shoes and recyclable plastic and yada yada. So I was finding out that there's a lot of these producers and products out there. And so, one thing that I wanted to do was basically either get into contact and hopefully get something going, maybe like a partnership or whatever it is. But at the same time, I had to build a brand. So I was just busy with everything, like outreach and product design and coming up with mock-ups and yada yada. But the cool thing is how I sort of found the guy who was helping Mike V make his boards for his, I think it was like, it wasn't a vegan brand, but it was like a eco-conscious brand too, I think. And I hit him up, and lo and behold, he has a manufacturing studio making skateboards. So I hit him up and asked to see if he would be down for the project. And he said yes. So I basically sent him some of the designs that I had cooked up, and he was like, yeah, I can do that. And I was like, well, how can we make sure that this is what it is? And he said, well, we can make it biodegradable. We can make it with biodegradable glues, biodegradable paints. And I was like, hell yeah. So we got down to it. We kind of talked about the shape. We kind of talked about the size. And I read a 9. So I asked him to build a 9. And basically, this was it. And this is the prototype of the Earth Team 1 skateboard. I called it Earth Team 1 because we're one team. It's one Earth. We're one human race. Like, we're all in it together, whether we like it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not. Individualism be damned. Like, we're all just a bunch of humanoids walking around here on one planet. And it's kind of our job to make sure that we don't kill ourselves on it, and we don't leave it as one giant garbage heap for the generations that come after us, which is what a lot of people have been kind of bent on doing, it seems like. But yeah, so that's kind of how that came about. And then while that was happening, I was building out a website. I also found this really cool dude in New York who was making carbon negative skate wax. And he was just kind of like schlepping it all around, just going to skate shop. Funny enough, I had one of the prototype shirts that I had made, and I had it with me just because while I was out skating New York. Where was I? I think I was skating Tompkins. Yeah, I went to Tompkins. And we met him, started talking, yada yada. And he's just like, I gave him a shirt, and he gave me some wax, and then he started talking about the wax, and I was like, wait, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Carbon negative? So basically what it does is it uses cow methane, excess cow methane, in order to power basically the plant that makes the skate wax. So essentially it's a carbon negative process. And I thought that was really cool and it fit the brand. So I was like, yo, can I push these and can we co-brand it? And he said, yeah, that'd be sweet. So that's one of the other offerings, which I thought is really cool. And basically, yeah, there's like a shirt, there's a board, there's the carbon negative wax. I actually just designed a hockey jersey, all recycled material, 100% recycled. And that's also on the website. Yeah, so I designed the products, I got a website, I had to teach myself how to like figure out Shopify and how to make a website and all this kind of stuff. And over the course of 2 years, I kind of finally put something together. And then is when I lost my job. That is when I had to leave the country and come to Berlin. So this is the back truck. Okay, I'm just gonna put this here. Basically, most of my money has been tied up in survival, rent, moving, figuring everything out. And I moved here because I found a job, really. Like, it wasn't any other reason. It's not like I was like set on coming to Berlin or whatever. A job was better than no job at the time. And I kind of was not looking forward to being broke and jobless in Detroit, especially in this weird, funky economic time in the US. So made it to Berlin, but yeah, basically all my money and attention has been tied up on that. So for the past 2 years, it's kind of been a really slow moving project. But also at the same time, I've just been testing the shit out of this board. I've just been like really, really trying hard with it. And yeah, I'm really happy. Like, this is something that I would be extremely happy to sell and to provide the world with. This is a hell of a board. Like, and I'm not just saying that. I really, like, I wish I was just, you know, trying to upsell here. But I really, if I don't like something, even if it's something that I've done, like, I'm the first person to shit on things that I've done. First person. Like, I expect it for myself to have high standards, and, you know, I'm not going to stop now, especially if it's like a product that's tied to my name or tied to like a cause that I want to make or see happen in the world, you know? So I guess take my word for it that this is a really fucking strong board. I keep swearing. I gotta bleep these, I guess. When I'm editing, man, that's really squeaky. Boop. So yeah, I guess this is the used Earth Team 1 board. That'll look nice somewhere. Yeah. And why am I saying all this? Because there's a big power in just doing it, you know? It sounds lame, but it's kind of true. Like, sometimes you just have to start, and you just have to have an idea and a vision. And if it's something that you're already passionate about and something that inherently drives you, I think that you're going to be in a good place to do something that you always wanted to, you know, whether that's writing songs, starting a business, getting a job, whatever it is, going to a certain school. Having that goal, having that vision, I think is just the first key. And often it might just be like the hardest one, you know, but I feel like we all want things and we all want to do things. And we all kind of deep down know what it is that we want to do, but maybe we just stop ourselves, or we tell ourselves it's stupid, or that it won't work, or that it's too expensive. And yeah, maybe all those are true, but why not try? And that's basically what I'm doing here now. So now that I've tested the board and I believe in it, the next step, I guess, is to either buy stock or figure out how to do a pre-sale for these so that I can up the scale, because if you just buy them one by one, it's too expensive. Even for me, like, I wouldn't be able to afford them I was able to afford like the mock-ups, but if you told me that I had to pay 125 to skate, no. But if I start ordering 10 or above, then the price drops significantly, and it reaches that of a pro skateboard basically. And I know it doesn't have a pro skateboard name on it, but it's definitely like a pro level board. Like this board is a professional tank of a skateboard. And I'm gonna keep buying these for myself. Like if I have enough money to buy like 10 of them, I'm just gonna buy 10 of them, even if it's just for me to have. But yeah, that's kind of the plan with that. And yeah, I guess I'm going to set up my new board. Before I designed and skated my own, that's so funny, I really loved Doomsayers, and I still do. I think they're great boards. I think it's a great brand. You know, yeah, another one of those brands that kind of like made me think that I could do this stuff too, you know. Salazar is basically just kind of running this out of a warehouse on the West Coast, and he just does it, you know, like for the stoke, for the love, for skateboarding, and you know, really cool brand. And just seeing him do it, and seeing other people like Jerry Sue like start his brand, sci-fi, you know, just all these things, you know, like so many brands and so many skaters. Like it can't just be like people with, you know, this isn't just people with infinite money, you know. Like I know that some skaters have made some decent change and blah blah blah, but at the same time, like it's just people doing something, you know, because they love it and because they're just stoked on what it is that they're doing, and they want to give back. And that's kind of what I want to do too. And like I love skateboarding, I love the planet. I want to, you know, create something that at the very least doesn't hurt it, and it still allows me the chance to kind of be what I want to be. Is that a cat? Hold on. There's a cat here. Come on. Okay, fine. So there's a stray cat out there. Maybe she comes in, maybe she doesn't. Looks like she got into a fight or something. Hope she's all right. But yeah, these are the boards that I used to ride before I started making mine. I got some Jessup grip tape, and I'm going to set this up real quick because, yeah, that board's just straight kaput. But yeah, intentionality is basically a big thing, you know, like being intentional about the things that you're doing, it's always going to help. And starting this, I guess, was the easy part, and now it's kind of like, okay, how do I move this forward? Like, obviously it takes money to market things. Obviously it takes money to buy stock. So what I've been doing is I've just been working 2 jobs, and I've been trying to save money so I can start basically marketing this. And you know, with everything that's been happening in my life and whatnot, like, it hasn't been the easiest, but I think I've been doing some good headway with that anyways. And you know, I hope to shortly have some cash in order to start marketing it. This is the worst part for me. It's like I just lose any sense of symmetry, and it always comes out crooked. And I hate it when it comes out crooked. Maybe I got it first try. Yeah, and then what I've been doing is I've just been stacking clips because I'm the only skater. Oh, tell me that there's enough room. Did I not do it right? I'll do it right. God damn it. There we go. Yeah, I'm basically like the only skater that's repping this, and until I can get stock in order to give to other skaters so that they can be part of the skateboarding team, I am the only person repping this brand. So not only do I have to build this brand, I also have to get better and stay better at skateboarding, which is also like a big time eater, you know? And I got to get clips, and that's not the easiest thing in the world either. So I've been continuously just like choosing kind of the hardest things to do, you know, like starting a business and trying to be a better skateboarder than I already am at my age. So yeah, you know, it's all good. It's all good, fun things. But I like it, you know. Oh my God. It gives me purpose and it gives me something to do. And I love skateboarding, if you hadn't noticed. Well, how would you know? Dude, I fucked this up. I can't believe I fucked this up. I can't believe I'm swearing again. Did I seriously mess this up that bad? Dude, this can't be this messed up. It's gotta be better. It's gotta be just a tad better, please. Please. Don't mess this up so bad for me. I can't believe this is on camera. Just absolutely failing to put grip tape on my board. I've been doing this for so long. And this is the first time I've messed it up so poorly. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Okay. But now we should be good and straight. All right. Jeez, that was awful, but I'm glad we pulled through. You know, just gotta keep on trying. Keep on trying. Good God, that was just straight misery. How about you stop? Oh my God, I'm sweating from that. Alright, I'm just gonna put the grip tape on. Grip tape is pretty much secure. Yeah, so one of the unfortunate things about riding 9-inch boards is basically grip tape is not as forgiving as if you were just kind of putting it on a regular board. It's always going to be kind of weird and a little tight and right at the edge. But, you know, I think we got it. Jeez, that's so crazy. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, trying to get this company together and also be a skateboarder and also be a marketer and also like be working 2 jobs and also trying to do other things like just kind of live as normal of a life as I can, you know, like have relationships and have friends and all these things, things that kind of make us not lose our minds when we're doing the day-to-day kind of living stuff. So yeah, it has not been an easy past couple of years, especially like not being able to move it forward in any meaningful way. I keep like starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping, and it gets annoying, you know. But that's just kind of life. That's just kind of the reality of this thing right now. So now that the test is over, I guess I can really start getting into it again. This part also took me forever to like learn, even if I've been doing it for more than 15 years now. Gripping a board just always kind of sucks, but whatever. It's one piece. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where my head is with this project. I'm actually really excited it came out as a good board because, you know, it was a gamble and it was money, and I couldn't just not test it. You know, I couldn't just be like, boom, this is it. This is it. This is going to be it. I had to be sure, you know, that it was something decent, because I can't put something out in the world that I don't believe in or that I wouldn't use myself. And like, that's another part of the ethos of this whole company, you know, is like everything that I want to provide as a brand, it's something that I would be using. You know, I can't just be like giving people shit that I wouldn't use. Like, I want to be different than every fucking greedy company that just makes bad products or lies about their products or doesn't. Like, their CEOs would never use their products, you know what I mean? So like, why be that? I want to be like a better example of how businesses can actually be a net positive for the world, instead of just a constant drag down of looking at the bottom line and, you know, just thinking about the shareholders and yada yada and all that kind of stuff. So this whole thing is basically like an act of rebellion, you know, like even if it's a lame thing of kind of participating in capitalism, I think it's participating in a way that is ethical, is sustainable, is kind of hitting at all the reasons of why people go into business in the first place, which is to solve a problem, you know? And shitty capitalist practices and the death of the environment and protecting like whatever we can, or at least protecting the future of the planet, is one of the problems that I want to solve. And again, I'm not saying that I'm gonna like save the world or save the planet, and I don't really believe that that's what's gonna come from this. But maybe someone somewhere thinks that, you know, caring about the planet isn't lame anymore, you know, like it can also be rad. And if I can do that, just because I started a skateboard company, to me that's a win, you know. If I can make someone think that caring is rad, which is also something that I have on my Instagram page, is make caring rad again. But I believe it, you know. Oh my god, I just almost sliced my finger off. Like, make caring rad again. Why is it lame to care? I also used to be the kind of person that just like didn't really care. Or I thought that caring or trying was kind of like lame. You know, it all had to look effortless. But I realize now that that's just kind of stupid, because you can only make it look effortless after you've tried a lot. And, you know, effortless is just a cool factor. It doesn't mean that you're not trying. It means you've tried so much that at this point, you know, you can just make it look easy. Doesn't mean that it is, or that you don't care. So yeah, make caring rad again. Oh my god, is torture over yet? Oh my god, this is so embarrassing to put online, but I'm gonna do it because this was the whole idea for the video, was to take off the setup of that board and put this board on. I can't believe I just mucked it up so bad. And why does that happen sometimes? I've never understood that. It's gonna get chalked up anyways. Once you start skating it a bit. Okay. I know people do that before, but I do it after. Just to take off some of the edge. And the ground is going to take care of the rest for me. Just kind of get that down in there. Sweet. Cool, here's my new skateboard. Now I put everything else on. But yeah. Now these are the bottom trucks, these are the top trucks. So yeah, my dream right now is to slowly start building this up. I want to start a skate team. I want to put out a video. I've actually been stacking clips. I think I have enough for maybe like a 2-minute part, maybe. It would be really cool if I had enough for that. I've been filming in Detroit. I've been filming in New York. I've been filming in Berlin. There might have been, I got some tricks at some national parks, which was also really cool and funny to me. That was something else that I kind of wanted to start getting kickflips at every national park and things like that. I just thought that'd be a fun goal. So yeah, get a pre-sale up, sell some boards, get a team, put a video out, start going on tours, start giving kids product and boards and stuff. And basically, yeah, like growing this little thing. However I can. Just gonna be dropping in whatever money I have and whatever time that I have on the side to make this thing come true, basically. And that's kind of the goal that I have for it. And I'm kind of sad that I'm not going to be skating my board anymore. But at the same time, Doomsayer's board's still great, so I'm not that upset about it at the same time. Plus, I'm just stoked to be riding a new board anyways, because it's been kind of shitty. Man, how much of this am I going to have to start bleeping? Does it need to be monetized or anything like that? No, I don't think so. I'm just doing this just cause. But, yeah, so, I mean, to me, yeah, it's like, what's better than doing all the things that you love for something that you believe in instead of just a random job or a corporation that doesn't even care about you at all and will fire you for whatever reason. And I know that being an entrepreneur can't just be like everyone's way out, but at the same time, maybe it can be something that I just do, you know, on the side. Like, they call them lifestyle businesses because it basically just affords you the lifestyle. And what I've always wanted to do is be involved in the skateboarding industry somehow, you know, whether that was being a skater or whether that was just like working for a brand. But I also know how kind of closed the industry is. And in order to be a part of it in any really meaningful way, you just kind of have to be on the West Coast. And that's just something that I never pulled the gun on for a lot of reasons. And at the same time, you know, now I'm in Europe, and all these things just kind of have to do with connections and meeting people and all these things. But at the same time, I'm also kind of like, not antisocial, but I'm just, you know, can't really just be out there all the time when you're also like inside doing a bunch of other things too. That's weird. I don't like the fact that it doesn't really buckle up. I don't like that either. What's happening? Oh, well, I guess they're kind of, that's what's happening. They're just long. There we go. What is wrong with that? I do that by hand too. I don't really feel like doing it by hand. Anyways, truck 1 is on. Now to get truck 2. Watch this not recording. Oh, it is recording. Look at that. Look at that. Also, where was the gold bolt? I gotta look at it like this now. There's the gold bolt here. Maybe I'll put it here. Yeah, that looks good. I'll do that there. And yeah, I guess like another thing that I wanted to do is to incorporate more of my life into this channel, you know? And this is a big part of my life, not just skateboarding, but making this company go. And I figure it would be something cool to talk about and to show people. So here I am. I'm really not looking forward to deleting all those swear words, those bad words. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I care. Because I care. And I'm trying to make caring rad again. Make caring rad again. I'm usually a victim of my own moralities. But hey, if you can't walk the walk, you can't talk the talk, so that's what I guess it's all about. Is that cat coming in? Weirdo cat. But yeah, after I put this together, I'm probably going to stop the video, start thinking about what else I can talk about next time. Man. I'm really glad for this little drill. IKEA's pretty boss for this one. Can't lie. I think what was like $10? Not even. It just works. I'm just gonna tighten the rest of this by hand. But yeah. My setup is Slappy Trucks, Doomsayer's board, 9 inches, Spitfire wheels, conical fulls. I think they're 56s. 101 durometer. Yeah. And That's my new board. And this is my old board. Earth Team 1, 9 inches, biodegradable. Basically, the glues, the paints, made by hand, made in America. Yeah. This is some of the stuff that I'm up to. This is what I do with my time. Make skateboards and brands. Sweet. Yeah, I think I'm going to tighten those up and then make some music. And that's going to be my Friday night. So until next time.